Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's your friendly neighborhood apologist, copycat. Not why would I copy David Wood? He is a psychopath. But he's one of the nicest psychopaths I've ever seen. Wow. Okay, in this video, we're going to be reviewing Christian Prince's video. Oops, that's not from the start.
The person who got and all right, hello everyone, and peace of the Lord to all of you. I hope my voice is getting good and clear. Please invite your friends. And today we are going to have some comedy. You know, we are in no mean here to debunk so-called Sneako. This guy is just a kid, and he have a low IQ, obviously. You know, I mean, Lord have mercy on his creation.
Lord have mercy on his creation.
But just to show you,
for real,
what kind of people who convert to Islam,
like,
you know, what kind of
yeah, it's actually hard not to laugh at this. He really is a man-child.
Intelligent, intellect, and with the reasoning, let us say, you know, for me, looking at this person, which I really feel sorry for. And by the way, I mean, he respond to everybody except me. You know, he don't even dare to mention me. But I feel that the reason for him he converted to Islam because he is a fan, he's a puppy of Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate converted to Islam, he converted to Islam. So otherwise, you can tell this guy he do not know what Islam is about. He do not know what Christianity is about. He is just a person who keeps saying the F word.
He just got duped. He just got duped. Somebody came in, told him, "Oh, you know, Islam is really the only true monotheistic religion," and he's like, he just fell for it right away. He's like, "Oh, you know that the Quran's been miraculously preserved?" He just fell for that too. He just falls for anything. He's really gullible.
And street boy, you know, literally a street boy. He grew on the street. He's a street boy, and that's why he have many people who like him, because street boys follow street boys. And I find it very funny, like, you know, our brother here is a very well educated, obviously, and Sneako, you have no idea what he's talking about. But is that a fair even to I mean to make argument between two? No, this is not fair, because when we are debunking a donkey, I mean, that is not a debunking, that's is even hilarious. But I wanted to play this video to show you how and who convert to Islam. They are silly, they are stupid, they are ignorant about everything, about who they are and what they convert to. So we know we will make comments.
He just jumped right into it. He knew nothing. We will see what's going on
in this video. Let us watch together.
One consistent Bible. And you guys just trust me on this, because the longer that the video goes on, the better it gets. It really does. So this video is going to be a little bit longer, since we're going to go through Sneako's entire response together, and I'll give my thoughts along the way. So with that out of the way, let's just get into it.
Oh, here we go. We can watch this. Sneako's arguments against Christianity. Popular influencer Sneako, but they can't say Rumbler. Just say Rumbler. Just say Rumbler. No. Okay, fine.
Has been consistently giving everyone 5 reasons for why he recently embraced Islam and why he rejects Christianity. Now, there's a lot of people saying that he only converted to Islam because Andrew Tate did, but I personally don't know the man's motives and won't jump to any conclusions. However, if he is being sincere in the reasons that he gives, then we should expect for Sneako to leave Islam and embrace Christianity by the time that he's done watching this video. The reason why is because the 5 reasons...
Nope, he won't, because it's too much of an ego trip for him. He feels like he has to stick by his decision. Otherwise, it will hurt his ego if he doesn't.
That he gives, if he wants to be consistent, are the very things that should actually call...
We got 4K, or is it going to be laggy?
Cause him to reject Islam and instead become a Christian. So, don't believe me? I'll prove it. Let's start with his first reason.
Okay.
Why I resonate with Islam, why it makes sense for me, because it's weird. It doesn't make sense to me to pray to a man. I don't want to submit to a man. The only person that we should submit to and that we should pray to should be the one creator of the universe, which is Allah.
You know, here you see the stupid idiot. He forgot that Allah himself, he submit to Muhammad.
Exactly.
You see, I know that our Christian brother here, he answer, but he answer as a Christian. But if we go in the Quran, you will see that Allah and his angels and the Muslims, they submit to Muhammad. This idiot, he did not know what Islam is about.
And not only that, he makes it seem like Christians are directly like worshiping a man and nothing but a man.
Oops,
But that's
yeah,
not
I
what
mean
Christians
English, sorry.
believe. They believe that Jesus is the God man, that he's not just man.
Again,
It's so silly and
my keyboard
ridiculous
is
to
switching
claim
to
that,
English.
oh, Christians worship a man. No Christian believes that Jesus was just a man.
If you read in the Quran, you will see it says, إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Chapter 33, verse number 56. The Muslim translation, public fabricators, they say that Allah, look, read careful with me. Allah, he sent his salat. Between two bracket, grace, honor, blessing, mercy. No, salat is not an honor. Is not salat is salat. Salat
There's a lot of
is a
brackets in the
prayer.
Quran.
You ask a Muslim, what do you say about prayer? They say salat. So Allah do salah on Muhammad. So who is the God and who is the follower of God? If Allah himself supplicate a prayer on Muhammad, Mimi Hijab, when he was debating David Wood, if we can call it a debate, he says, this is why the translation says he pray for, not to. Does it make a difference? So Allah, he pray for Muhammad, not to Muhammad. So Allah, he pray to who?
Oh.
Do he have a higher God? In the Bible, Jesus, he prayed to the Father. He's the Son. The Son, he prayed to the Father. The communication between the Son and the Father is a prayer, or it's holy. Now, this is God. Is he praying to the Son Muhammad? Or Allah, he is praying to his Father? So this idiot, he did not know that his religion say clearly that all prayer, in fact, supplicate and goes to Muhammad, not even to Muslims, to Allah. If we go in the hadith, you will see Muhammad saying this. He said that the Friday is the best of the days. This is the day the Muslims they gather for prayer. Muhammad, he claimed that when the Muslim they make a prayer on Friday, their prayer will be supplicated to Muhammad. Do you see it? The Messenger of Allah said, among the best of your days is a Friday. So supplicate Allah more often for me in it. For your supplication will be displayed to me. So who is Muhammad? You are praying to Allah, your prayers goes to Muhammad. Plus, why Muhammad needs supplication on him if Allah in the Quran, as Muslim they say, he already did blessing and honor to him? Do you see the stupidity? Muhammad is a mentally ill person. He have an echo. He worship himself. He praise himself a lot, and he want to be the center of the universe. So now look what happened. Allah, the angels, the Muslims, everybody is doing one thing: praying on Muhammad. You know, human being supposedly he should be worried about himself. I mean, you are Muhammad. I mean, your name is the praised one. So if the praised one need your prayer to Allah, what about you, poor Muslim? Why Muhammad is asking you and asking Allah and asking the angels? And actually, he's not asking anybody here. This is Allah supposedly talking. And here you see, by the way, how Allah is the one talking, and he says, Allah, he sent his salat. How Allah is talking? I mean, if I'm a Christian prince, why say a Christian prince he sent his supplication? In order to say such a thing, I have to be not Christian prince. If I am the one who is talking, then I should not mention my name, and I should not say Allah sent his salah. In Arabic, by the way, it doesn't say send salah. What send? Are we going to mail it? Mail it to who? I mean, do you see how stupid even the sentence? Focus with me, Muslims. Allah, He sent His salah. He sent it where?
Makes no sense. Absolutely zero sense.
Just to show you how stupid this cult is. If I am God, and now I am going to send a prayer to Muhammad, I will send it where?
Who's it going to?
Any Muslim can tell me? If you are a Muhammadan and you are watching the video later, don't hesitate to leave your comment and tell me Allah send the prayer to who and where. I mean, He's God. They try to duct tape the stupid verse, and now this is after the duct tape. Allah, He sent His salat. Send it where? To Muhammad. Okay, there is something you send. I mean, is that something physical we send? What do you mean send? And if Allah, He blessed Muhammad, as the translation saying, which is fake, who need the angels? Allah and the angels. It turned to be the angels, they can do nothing, they do the same. And also His angel, look at the false translation. It says, and also His angels ask Allah to bless and forgive him. Oh, where it says that? Where in the Arabic it says, and the angels ask Allah to bless him and forgive him? Where it says that? In Arabic, there's no different. It's right away. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu. Allah and His angels praying on Muhammad. You change the translation or a translator, you will find right away a new Quran. This is Hilali and Khan. You see it? This is who? This is Muhammad Hilali and Muhammad Khan. This is not a Christian translation. So if we change the translator, we will find different words. Let us see a different one. Let us see Muhammad Arbari. This is a very stupid religion. Look at this. We just changed the translator. 100 words went missing. Allah and His angels blessed the Prophet. Who? So why the other translation saying, and the angel asked Allah to send His blessing? Do you see? And this is stupid Sneako. He says in the beginning of the video, the Christian, they have 1,000 versions of the Bible. You either this is a translation. What version? This is the translation. This is not a new version of the Bible, as a, the way you understand that this is a new Bible. This is a translation. And translation can be good, can be bad, depending on the quality and the qualification of the translator. But we shall not add, and we should not add or take off verses in the translation. Otherwise, the translator is a potato. It doesn't matter if he's a Christian or a Jew or a Hindu or a potato. No, translator is translator. If somebody translating my book, he shall not add, he shall not take off, he shall not add things that's not there. He should not make comment I did not say. His job is just a translator. He's not an author. He is not a writer. He is not making quotation. No, he is just translating.
It just doesn't make sense without
So
it.
here you see that this is stupid Abdul. He claimed that why we should pray to a man, but isn't it Jesus? Do we Christian pray to Jesus because he's a man?
Of course.
Is that really why we pray for him? To him?
Of course not. No.
Is that the reason? Because he's a man. Well, if this is the reason we pray to him because he's a man,
It's completely twisting the argument, completely misrepresenting Christianity, And doesn't Sneako just think for a while, like, okay, clearly it's not worshiping a man. They clearly believe that this man was divine. And doesn't Sneako ever stop and think to himself, like, okay, what if the omnipotent creator, the all-powerful God, did want to become man, did want to take up flesh, would it not be possible for God, if he so desired, to take on flesh? And if there was ever a man who did take on, that did live on this earth, who would most portray God the best? Who do you think that would be?
Then we should pray for every man. But Jesus is the only unique. Why? For he is God who humbled himself and he came to us as a man. So he's God first before he is a man. This is why we worship Jesus, not because he's a man. However, the stupid Abdul, he forgot that his God, he have all the figures of a man. And this is how ignorant, stupid he is. Let us go.
God descended himself to a human only to be rejected by the likes of people like Sneako.
Go back to this video. Look, you look like a, I don't know, a skunk when he's talking. You know, skunk. You don't change your name. Don't call yourself a Sneako.
Impersonation.
I'm not making fun of his look, by the way. The way he's talking like a skunk. You know.
How do skunks talk?
I mean, do you even have a brain? You have a brain of a skunk.
Oh my
if he wants to be
gosh.
consistent, are the very things that should actually
We have
cause
to do it lovingly.
We got 4K.
It's
Or
hard.
gonna be
It
lagging.
gets
him to
frustrating, but we have to
reject
do it with love.
Islam and instead become a Christian. So, don't believe me? I'll prove it. Let's start with
Okay.
his first reason.
Okay.
Why I resonate with Islam, why it makes sense for me, because it's weird. It doesn't make sense to me to pray to a man. I don't want to submit to a man. The only person that we should submit to and that we should pray to should be the one creator of the universe, which is Allah.
Same time, you know, I forgot to mention that Muslims, they have to submit to Muhammad. The Quran says, whoever submit to Muhammad, he submit to Allah. This is in the Quran.
Yeah, like
This donkey, he did not
let me
know
just
his
search
book.
that up. Whoa, what just happened? Oh, the computer's too slow. Okay, yeah.
Muhammad, he replaced Allah. He is Allah on earth. His name is the praised one. Here we go. You supplicate. His name
Yes.
is the praised one.
Christian Prince is going to put
And
it.
you have to obey him before you obey Allah. In fact, Muslims, they disobey the Quran of Allah and obey Muhammad. What is the excuse? Well, we
Yeah, he
have
doesn't
to
even
obey the
know.
Prophet, and the Prophet, if he says something, he can cancel the word of Allah. This is why we have what is called abrogation of the Quran by hadith. So imagine Allah, he says something, Muhammad says something. Which one the Muslim follow? Muhammad.
Muhammad
They call it
supersedes.
abrogation. So Muhammad have authority
He
to
gets
cancel the
abrogate
command of
everything
Allah
else.
and make his command the only valid.
He created the universe and we love him for it.
Yeah.
Perfect. That really, it makes the most sense.
Like, take a look at this. Let me just share this tab. Believers are told in the Quran. Okay, so this is a Muslim website, Minhajul Quran International. This is Muslim website, not some Christian propaganda. Believers are told in the Quran to obey the Sunnah of the Prophet. The Sunnah is indivisible from the Quran, for it is the living interpretation of the Quran by Prophet Muhammad Saas, the possessor of great moral values who had such great consideration for believers. The Quran cannot be understood and implemented in one's life without the Sunnah. You have an excellent model in the Messenger of Allah. Oh wow, so he's a very great model for all who put their hope in Allah in the last day and remember Allah much. The Prophet is a role model Allah showed great kindness to the believers when he sent a messenger to them from among themselves to recite his signs. Wow. The danger of abandoning the Sunnah. Various heresies have appeared during the history of Islam. Different sects have turned away from Islam's essence and adopted heretical beliefs and un-Islamic practices. In our day too, some people reject the Sunnah of the Prophet. We read the Quran, they say, and interpret it for ourselves without the need for any clarification. The fact is that these people have abandoned the Sunnah, in fact, ignore the Quran's commandments. That is because the Sunnah is an explanation of the Quran, and more importantly, the Quran orders Muslims to follow it. Allah has not only made obeying the Quran obligatory, but also obeying the Prophet. Surprise, Sneako. Surprise. You're actually supposed to submit to a man as well in Islam. Ooh, but the difference is in Christianity, when you were submitting to a man, it was God who took on flesh. But here, ooh, you're submitting to a man who claimed to be a prophet and did other unquestionable things. For this reason, Islam can only be practiced together with the Sunnah, and Muslims can only apply the Quran into real life with its help. Obeying the Prophet means complying with the Sunnah. One who has taken a vow of allegiance to the Prophet has taken it to Allah. Can you, like, one who has taken a vow of allegiance to Prophet has taken it to Allah. Wow. Those who pledge their allegiance to you pledge allegiance to Allah. So when you pledge your allegiance to Muhammad, you're actually pledging your allegiance to Allah. That's how equal they are. That when you obey and when you submit to Allah, to Muhammad, you're submitting to Allah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you're submitting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wow. Whoever obeys the messenger has obeyed Allah. You should accept whatever the messenger gives you and abandon whatever he tells you to abandon. Wow.
So as you just heard, Sneako doesn't like the idea of submitting to a man and therefore decided to reject Christianity and to embrace Islam. But unfortunately,
there are a lot of reasons. That wasn't the reason that I reverted to Islam, but that's the reason why Christianity never resonated with me. Really.
if Sneako really does have a problem with...
He just said never. That's good. See, so don't ever say that you're a Christian, you liar. Never resonated with you. So you never been Christian. Did you see what he did? He just confessed his sin, saying the truth. He never was. So don't lie and say you used to be Christian. You've never been Christian.
Submitting to a man, then he should reject Islam. The reason why is because, according to the Quran, Sneako is actually commanded to submit to Muhammad, who's a man. So if this is a real reason for why Sneako...
But you don't pray to Muhammad.
So in the original clip, he said that
yes, you do.
He didn't want to submit or pray to a man. And so I addressed...
And not just you, but Allah does too.
His point about submitting to a man. After I pointed out that the Quran requires you to submit to a man, then he said that the real issue is prayer, which is fine because I had that in mind when I addressed the point about worship. So I think that the same responses could be given in that as well. He should also reject Islam. But what's even more interesting is the reason that he gives for why he thinks that he should only worship Allah. He said that he only wants to worship Allah because Allah is God, Allah is the creator of the universe, and therefore we should love him for it.
First of all, according to the Quran, Allah is not the only creator. This is how stupid Sneako is, because the Quran says Allah is the best of the creators. If Allah is the only creator, that means this verse in the Quran is an error, a mistake of the author of the Quran, so-called Allah aka Muhammad. In chapter 23 verse number 14 and chapter 37 verse 125, Allah is the best of the creators. In fact, Allah, he compared himself to Baal, and he claimed that he is better than Baal. That means Baal is a creator and he is the best. So look how stupid the author of the Quran. The Muslim, they say we worship Allah because He is the only creator. The stupid Allah, he says He is the best of the creators. He's not the only creator. And then he compared himself to a fake pagan god. His name is Baal. This is how stupid Muhammad is. If Baal is a fake god, false god, how I say I am the best of the creators speaking about Baal? So Allah now complaining, saying, why you pray for Baal when I am the best of the creators? I mean, Baal is a creator, Allah is a creator, but Allah is best. And here the funny is, who is the one who gave Allah the certification that He's best? Himself? Who is the one who says you are the best? You know, when we use the best, that means the others are good too. Is that correct? If I say I'm the best of the students, it doesn't mean the students are bad, but I'm saying I'm the best between. So they are good, but I'm the best. So here Allah, did He condemn false God or He approved them? He approved them. For they are good, but He is the best. This is how stupid the knowledge of this of the author of the Quran is. You cannot be the best unless there is many like you. Correct? The Muslim, they keep saying to us, you cannot compare anyone to Allah. But look, Allah Himself, He compared Himself to Baal. Look how stupid this garbage, stupid religion. They keep saying to us, the Quran says nothing like Allah. Well, this is the verse from the Old Testament, nothing like God. This is not from you. You're copying us. This is number one. Number two, nothing like God is not about His leg and His face and etc. This is not about this. It's nothing about nothing like God, for He is the Almighty. For He is always truthful. For He is always powerful. For He is always eternal. For He is always loving, living. For He is the creator. So not because He, they ask Him about Allah have 5 fingers. They say, well, nothing like Allah. Who care about it? What do you mean nothing like Allah? He said He have 5 fingers. In that point here,
of course, there's nothing like Allah. He has 2 left shins or 2 right arms. I don't even know.
This Allah, nothing like Allah, because He is the one who used the word fingers, not
1
me.
eye.
When Allah He used fingers, that means He have fingers. When Allah He says He have a shin, that means He have a shin. He is the one who compare Himself to my shin. It's not me. Are you following, people? Are we following the meaning?
Sure.
So Muhammad, when he says Allah the best of the creators, in fact he was copying, and we know the story. He have a scribe. His name is Abdullah ibn Sarh. Muhammad was reciting the chapter 23 in the Quran about how Allah created the baby, which is very funny and very stupid. According to Muhammad, the baby created from dead blood. The sperm became dead blood, and then the dead blood grow and became a baby in such a cartoonic way. So regardless of the mistakes of this verse about how the babies are created, obviously proving Muhammad to be a false prophet and his God does not even exist, there's no way God will say such a stupid thing. But here Muhammad was reciting this, asking his scribe to write it down. Muhammad recite, and then he stopped, and he arrived here the word and forth as another creation. Abdullah ibn Sarh, and remember what I'm saying to you, this is what is written in their books, in their interpretation, not me. Remember carefully. The Muslims, they say this is not true, this is in their books, and this is their scholars, and this is their own stories. So Abdullah ibn Sarh, he says, so blessed be Allah, the best of the creators. Muhammad said to Abdullah, put it there. Abdullah, he said, what put there? He said what you just said. So blessed be Allah, the best of the creators. Abdullah, he said, hold on, I am the one who said that, O Prophet of Allah, not you. Muhammad, he said to him, it came to me as it came to you. Imagine. So Muhammad, he liked what this guy said. He told him to add it to the Quran.
That's really bad. That's really
And now the Quran is more in trouble.
The Quran is supposed to be the speech of Allah. It's eternal. It's not, oh, someone said this, oh, another person said that, which is why Muslims are so they're so anal about being having the whole miracle of preservation, because this is the direct speech of Allah. So it's not something that can change. It's not something that, it's eternal. It's Allah's speech. So that's why they're so, fixated on having that whole Quran preservation. But this is just horrible. Like, Muhammad liked what this guy said, and then he goes along with it's like, yeah, you know what? Let's add that to the recitation.
Muhammad, he liked the sentence. It fit perfectly there, according to him. So let us copy it and put it there. But now we have how many creators? Especially we are talking about creating babies. By saying Allah the best of the creators, that means there's many that create babies. If I am talking, let us say I am a car maker, not a creator, maker. I use steel, I use screws, I use oil, I use etc. Make engine, make a car, make rubber, whatever, make tires, wire them, you know, we have a car. So Ford is a company, Mercedes-Benz is a company, Toyota is a company, Honda is a company, Maserati is a company. Maserati is the best of the makers. I'm not saying, by the way, it is. No, I'm just joking. So by saying that, I am saying all of them, they make cars, but I am the best of the makers. Now let us switch to make babies. Allah is describing how he makes.
That's how insecure Allah was about being a creator, that even though he was supposed to be the only creator that exists, he still had to put it in there that, but I'm the best of creators. He just had to throw that in there. That's how insecure he is of a creator.
Babies. And then at the end he says, so blessed be Allah. And by the way, Muslims, who is the blessing Allah? Any Muslim want to tell me who is a blessing Allah?
Demons.
In this scenario, who is blessing Allah?
Allah.
People, do you see the stupidity? Anyone notice with me how stupid this statement is? If Allah is talking, do Allah even need a blessing? What do you mean? What does blessing mean? What do you mean, blessed be Allah? Allah blessing Allah? Is that a supplication? What is this? So the stupid Sneako, he do not know anything about his garbage cult, yet he claimed that he have a religion and he have a God. But the second you start reading the stupid Quran, you will die laughing. Let us go back and laugh more.
But ironically, in Christianity, Jesus is God. He created the entire universe. So why does Sneako have a problem with?
Correction. Yes, in Christianity, Jesus is God and he created the universe. In Islam too, Jesus is God and he created creation. Isn't it the Quran says that the Messiah, he created from the mother bird? So is Jesus creator in the Quran? Yes, he is. In the same stupid book, it's called Quran, Jesus, he create from the mud a figure of a bird. And we know when Muhammad, he got this funny story. And by the way, here, this is additional proof that the Christians did not corrupt the book. Why? If we Christians seeking corruption to make Jesus sound like God, well, this is a story we should add right away to the front of our Bible. Do you agree, guys?
Exactly.
Why we refuse a story saying Jesus is God, the creator? Why wanna take it off? Why the Christian want to do that? Give me a reason. Those are Christian, they believe in Jesus, he is God, they worship him as God, and now there is a story saying Jesus, he do what God does. What God does? God, he made Adam in a figure of a statue, a figure of a human being from mud. Then he breathed into Adam, and Adam came to life. Okay. Well, Jesus, he just did the same. He made the figure of a bird, and he breathed into it, and it became a bird. And then the Quran says by the leave of Allah, but that doesn't change anything. Prove first that this is by the leave of Allah. Can Allah do what Jesus do? Prove it. Jesus, during his lifetime, he raised people from death. The Quran witness for that. But what the Quran do, the Quran hijacked the power of Jesus, claiming that this is Allah who gave him this power. But let us go for the sake of argument with this. If Allah, he can give Jesus the power of a creator, will that mean Allah, he shared the ability of a creation with Jesus? Do you agree? Are you with me, people? If Allah is the one who gave Jesus the ability to create, that means Allah, he decided to share his power of a creation with someone. His name is Jesus. I want to ask Muslims why he did not share this power with anybody. Muhammad is the most beloved person for Allah. Muslims, they claim.
Apparently also shared the whole judgment. If I'm not mistaken, in the Quran it says that Jesus will judge. So I guess he's also sharing in that as well.
Yet Allah, he decided to make Jesus a creator. He is not a creation no more, because the creator can't be creation. The creator is not a creation. If Jesus can create, and if he is a creator, if he is a creator in Islam, and Jesus is a created in Islam, that means Jesus, he created himself. Are you with me?
We got you, Prince.
I would like to see people focusing with me in what I'm saying. Please, Christian Prince, can you explain to me Mark 13? I mean, don't you see we have a topic? That's mean you are not listening. You are not even with us. So what do you want me now to stop talking about my topic and explain to you a verse? Here you see the Quran debunked itself. How Jesus is the created and Jesus is a creator. Do you see why we laugh at the garbage of Muhammad? Is it possible that I am the creator and the created in the same time? If Allah, he gave Jesus the power to create, how many creatures exist right now made by Jesus? Is that the only one Jesus he didn't make? There's no proof. Maybe millions. If Jesus can create a bird, can't he create a human? Can't he create a human? Are you with me? There's a Muslim in Discord waiting for me. Like, is he worth it? I mean, I don't know who in Discord it is. I don't know, like potatoes. But we can go to Discord, no problem. The first thing you will notice that Muslims do not know anything about the religion. I mean, Muslims who they are born Muslims and they are Arab do not know what Islam is about. How this idiot Sneako, who do not know even how to say his prophet name correctly, he do not know, as he said, he do not know until now how to pray. He have no time to pray, as he said. I mean, this is a very stupid person. And that's why I say stupid is amazing. Am I heard in Discord or nobody hear me yet? Because sometimes I log in, nobody can hear me. I guess still they can't hear me. Let me get out and come back again. All right, am I heard, guys, in Discord? All right, very good. Now, if you have a Muslim, let him put his hand up and we will take him. So here you see right away that the idiot Sneako, not only he do not know that Jesus in the Quran is a creator, not only he do not know that his God in the Quran, he is just a physical being. And if Allah is not a man, it doesn't matter what he is. A man, he have better feature than Allah. We have a person, his name is Alex and he is a Muslim. How his name is Alex and he's a Muslim? That's weird. Go ahead, Mr. Alex. Hello? Muhammad, are you there?
Okay, hello CP, hello Alex. Alex, he's a Muslim actually, but he changed his name because of the job, to get job. He told us that before, yeah. But the thing is, Alex, you should use push to talk, okay? Thank you, CP.
Okay, thank you. Push to talk, push to talk. There's an option. You push, so you can talk. Somebody told me that the one who they are speaking in this Discord, their audio is coming low in the YouTube. We will see why.
Yes, hello.
Hello. So what's
Can you hear me?
your real name, Alex? They told me you changed your name. Your name is what? Muhammad Ahmad. What's your name?
No, this is my real name because I live in Europe now.
So your name
for
became
practical reasons.
Alex because you live in Europe?
Yeah, I live in Europe,
Uh-huh.
and it's for practical reasons.
For practical. Okay. So what do you think about why you are a Muslim?
I was born into it, actually. My father is a Muslim.
No problem. But why you are now a Muslim? You are a grown man, you know.
Yeah.
So why you are a Muslim?
Yeah. So basically,
Because of years and years of brainwashing.
yeah, because we believe in Allah and Muhammad
What you believe?
as a prophet of God.
What, okay, Muhammad is a prophet of God. Can you, when we say somebody is a prophet, that means he prophesied, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, give me a prophecy to prove that Muhammad is a prophet.
Yeah, the one we hear all the time, like يتطاولون في البنيان, and he's speaking about the Arabs, you know.
Even he sounds exhausted. He's like, yeah, the one we hear all the time. Even he's tired of the prophecy.
And it's happening now in Dubai.
Can you explain to the people what does that mean?
Yeah, so the Arabs. I'm by the way, I'm also from the Middle East originally.
No problem.
So yeah, it means that the Arabs who used to be like Qaba'il, how do you say it? Tribes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they're tribes, and they used to live like in really low buildings, and now they are like competing with each other to build taller and taller buildings, and that's what's happening in,
all right,
I think, Dubai.
All right. So my friend, let me show you how this is very funny. First of all,
okay,
the Arab, they have high buildings, and those people of Yemen, they have high buildings before people in Europe. So your prophet, he gave false prophecies because already those people who live in Yemen, and they are naked in their feet, and they are shepherd, and they are having high buildings. Secondly, why wouldn't read the whole hadith? In the hadith it says that, you know, Muhammad, he made many prophecies about those, right?
Yeah, I think I read the hadith. Yes, it says it's many ones.
Yeah. So in the hadith, Muhammad, he claimed that there is a conditions and there's things have to happen, and then when those things happen, the judgment day will be there, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's mean Muhammad is a false prophet, because already long time ago, the Arab, they have high buildings starting from Yemen thousands of years ago. Plus, if this is happening in Dubai as you claim, well, this is a sign of the day of judgment. How come nothing happening? So
yeah.
So if this is a prophecy, Muhammad, he failed, you know. So when a Muslim he says to me such a story, I laugh, because let us read together, and then you will notice in 2 seconds that your prophet is a false prophet. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, I'm actually on your live on YouTube. I will mute so I can.
Okay, let me, guys, those who they are in Discord, if you don't mind, you go to YouTube so you can see the screen if you like to see what I'm going to show him. All right, or you can go to Rambo. Can you read for me Muhammad, whatever your real name? Go ahead. Can you read for me what you see in the screen?
Yeah, narrated Abu Huraira, Allah's messenger said, the hour will not be established till two big groups fight each other, whereupon there will be a great number of casualties on both sides, and they will be following one and the same religious doctrine, till about 30 Dajjals, liars, appear, and each one of them will claim that he is Allah's messenger, till the religious knowledge is taken. This is number 3, away by the death of the religious scholars. 4, earthquakes will increase in number. 5, time will pass quickly. 6, afflictions will appear. 7, al-harj, i.e. killing, will increase. 8, till wealth will be in abundance, so abundant that a wealthy person will worry lest nobody should accept his zakat. And whenever he will present it to someone, that person to whom it will be offered will say, I'm not in need of it. 9, till the people compete with one another in constructing high buildings.
Let us stop here. Let us stop here. Did you notice what happened, my friend? Your prophet is a big fat liar. I'm not insulting, because in order for people of Dubai to have a high buildings, all those things should happen first. So let us go back to zero. Two group of people will fight. What does that mean? I mean, always there's two group of people fight. Buddhists fighting Buddhists, like in China and in Japan. World War II, many religion. What two group? So what is Judgment Day? I mean, always there's two group, bigger group. Then we continue, and then he says 30 Dajjal who claim to be the messenger of Allah. Can you name for me the 30 Dajjal? Well, then he says the religion knowledge will be taken away, which means nobody is a Muslim no more. Nobody knows what Islam is. That what happened?
I mean, it's not like that, but a lot of Muslims are not practicing today.
No. The scholars, the death of the scholars. Nobody knows Islam no more. Zero scholar, zero true believer, zero knowledgeable person. Is that what happened?
No.
So, and then earthquake will increase in number, and time will pass quickly, which means the day becomes shorter. Do we have a shorter day?
No.
Then number 6, affliction will.
Time will pass quickly. Okay, that's a really weird one. Time passes when you're having fun. Yeah, that's the strangest prophecy ever. And the one that he was mentioning about the buildings, Apostate Prophet did a video about that a while back. And let me try to find this. Yes, this article where he said this person. This person, Hassan Radwan, made a very good point. Is it right here? No. Fourthly, here, at the time of Muhammad, there were already people competing in constructing tall buildings who matched this prophecy. So, at first glance, this prophecy sounds pretty cool. Like, you gotta call a spade. Like, it is kind of ambiguous, but at the same time, it's like, whoa, it did happen. It's like, and it could be also talking about, like, socioeconomic transition of those desert dwelling Arabs and how it went to like a multi-trillionaire country. But then when you look deeper into it, and it's then especially when you see that it's been narrated already, that it has been related previously in the Book of Faith through another chain from Abu Hurairah regarding Gabriel's question about faith, his saying regarding the signs of the hour and the competing and constructing tall buildings. And this is amongst the signs that happened close to the time of Muhammad's prophethood. So yeah, this was something that people were already competing in at that time, I guess. Nothing new under the sun for Muhammad. It's something that he witnessed already there.
Fear, which means big problems in the world. And then al-harj, people will kill each other. And then people will become so rich to the point nobody will take money. So before the people of Dubai build their high building, people, if they see money in the street, nobody will take it. You say to a guy, I want to give you money. They say, no, I don't want it. I do not need it. So when you said to me that Muhammad, he says the Bedouin, they will go high in the building, I laugh, because this is a proof of Muhammad to be a false prophet. And look, 1, 2, so this is number 9, number 10. Till a man will be passing by a grave of someone else will say, what that I wear in this place? Until the sun rise from the west. So if Muhammad is a prophet, so look what the Muslim do. They took one sentence of many lies, and they say, look what happened. The prophet, he said that those Arab, they will have high buildings. But the Arab, they have high building from before. Isn't it you Muslim? You claim that the people of Yemen are Arab.
Yeah, the Yemenis are Arabs. Yeah,
and they are like they have floor 6, 7 floor buildings, and that because of the nature of their land. The nature of their land is mountains, so they have, you know, and for the sake of protection too. So when Muhammad made a prophecy, all those things fail, all of them. But why Muhammad and why the Muslims? They took only one sentence to make Muhammad a prophet. Why didn't quote for us the rest of what Muhammad said? The answer is very simple. Because if they quote the rest will prove Muhammad to be a fraud. So what we will do? We quote only 2 words and we ignore the rest. Do you see the buildings of Yemen? Historic buildings.
Yeah.
So did Muhammad prophesy anything? No. In fact, all his prophecies is false.
Yeah. I mean, are these buildings like pre-Islamic?
Yeah. There's even, you know, my friend, speaking about high buildings, even like, okay, if we go right now into this to Jordan, Petra,
yeah,
the whole city is in the rocks. Amazing. And they are what? They are shepherds. They are not engineers. They are not. So this is a very silly, stupid prophecy made by a false man. And as you see, in order for this prophecy to accomplish, we have all those things have to happen. So before we reach the people of Dubai building the high buildings, did we reach the point where wealth will be abundant?
No.
Aren't you saying to me, you came to Europe and you are looking for a work and you did change your name? You need work, right? You need money. Okay. So like, do you find money in the street?
No.
But how come he said that the Arab, one of the sign of the day of judgment, that the Arab, after the wealth became abundance, they will build high buildings?
Yeah.
I want to ask you, my friend, did you read ever before what I'm showing you on the screen?
Say that again.
Did you ever see what I am showing you on the screen before?
This hadith?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it before.
Okay.
Because I've done some research, but I did not understand it as like chronological. You know, in like it has to be in this order.
No, it have to be because Muhammad, he said this and this and this is starting. You know, if I start saying this and then this, and that's mean this is the order. That's why even the Muslim, they count number 1, number 2. You see, this is not me. This is the Muslim website, right? So they are the one who put the numbers. And obviously, when Muhammad, he count them, even if he did not add the word, like the letter, like the number 1, but this is number 1. So the hour will not be established till starting this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And as you see, if Muhammad is a true prophet, already the Arab, they have high buildings. But Dubai and the Emirat and Kuwait and Bahrain is where human trafficking happening, abused, rape, prostitution, women, they are brought from around the world for sex slavery. So is wealth is abundance? Do people go to Dubai and they collect money from the street, or they have to work in slavery to make it?
Actually, there are a lot of like foreign workers there, and the conditions are not so good.
Absolutely.
Like
slavery. Anyone in the Middle East is a fool. You know, especially if you are a female. The first thing will happen to you, you will be abused and you will be used, and mostly you will be thrown in the dumpster. You can have a place in Dubai only if you are.
My goodness, this guy sounds so defeated now. I actually feel pretty bad for him. You know, he's not like Sneako, who's so arrogant and just like a very emotional man-child. This guy is like sincere, and I feel bad that now he feels kind of disappointed that maybe the prophecies of Muhammad aren't that great as he thought they were. Because this guy grew up with this religion, right? It's hard. Your parents teach you to go, you know, with this path of righteousness. Your own mom and dad, you know, so it's difficult.
or a very beautiful girl who allow herself to become a whore. You will work there, you will make good money, and you come back home with AIDS. This is if they let you take the money with you. But this is not our problem now. Muhammad is a false prophet, no question. What say you? And look, he continued, he did not even stop. He claimed that after they make a high buildings, a man, he will pass by the grave of someone, he will say, what that I wear in this place? What does that mean? I mean, I wish I'm in this place. And then the sun will rise from the west. So the stupid Muhammad think that the sun rise or direction change, but we know that the sun rise not. The sun rise from the sun does not. This is how we see it. Muhammad, he claimed that the sun rise by what? By claiming that the sun changed its direction. If we go to the hadith, we will find this. Let us read this hadith together. And this is Sahih again. This is Sahih Bukhari. Once I was sitting with the Prophet in the mosque at the time of the sunset. The Prophet said, "Oh Abu Dhar." You know what Dhar mean? Dhar?
Abu Dhar? No.
The father of the ants. Do you know where the sun set? I replied, Allah and his apostle knows best. He said, it goes and prostrate itself underneath Allah's throne. That is Allah's statement, and the sun runs to its fixed course. So now, did we confirm that Muhammad, he believed that the sun is the one is moving?
Yeah, it's moving to its fixed course. It says.
Yeah, but this is what? This is the sun rise and the sun sets, right? The daily thing.
Christian Prince is not
and the sun runs on its fixed course.
Yeah, but we are talking about what? We are talking about the sun rise and the sunset every day, every 24 hours, correct?
We'll go to that because it looks like Christian Prince just continues this conversation. Or, yeah, he just keeps continuing conversations. Oh, seems like he goes back to it here.
What he want, and I'm in no position to like say anything about that. It's not that. It's just in Christianity, I assume you also have like free will.
Yeah, sure. You see, if there's no free will, there's no God.
Right.
Because if God is justice and there's no free will, then God is not justice. Then you know, if I have no free will to commit sin or not to commit sin, who gave the right to God to punish me? If He is just, you know, this is not fair to punish me, and I have no free will to be sinner or not, right?
Yeah, I understand that completely.
Okay.
The thing is, so if you punish people on this earth, like a divine punishment, let's say like in the case of Noah, and yeah, so you punish them here. Will God punish these people in the afterlife too?
You see, first of all, this is not really a punishment, and I will explain it to you. When God He gave me life, God said to Adam, death, you die. You die. So this is not a punishment. This is, I took from you what I gave you. You don't own it.
Yeah.
So right. I gave you life, I take life back. This is not the punishment. The punishment is later. Death is not really a punishment. We die because we commit sin. So now it became a punishment. But the real punishment is not now. The real punishment is in the day of judgment. So the punishment of sin is death, the Bible says. But the death the Bible is speaking about is not dying now, just only. But there's the death. You die. Your death will be as living for eternity in hell. That is a death. The death is when your soul is destroyed. Jesus said, don't be afraid of those who destroy the flesh, but those who destroy your soul. So that is the death we are talking about. Otherwise, the death we are talking about now, like I will die, Adam die, you will die. Well, Christians, they believe in Jesus, they die too. But now because we don't live in heaven, that was the punishment of Adam. He said to him, after he was kicked off heaven, you die. Death, you die. This is your, you know, this is what will happen to you. Because now you don't live in heaven. Eternity is taken away from you. However, still the penalty is not death. In fact, many they will wish that the penalty is just death. Because I can go rape, kill, steal, so the penalty will not be now. The penalty is so you can fix your life before you die. Death is a penalty of sin. However,
you know how they were talking about free will and whatnot. It kind of reminded me of this Suna over here. Just share this tab. So Abu Surma reported that when the time of the death of Abu Ayyub bin Fadi drew near, he said, I used to conceal from you a thing which I heard from Allah's messenger. And I heard Allah's messenger, peace and blessings upon him, as saying, it's a very small font, as saying, had you not committed sins, Allah would have brought into existence a creation that would have committed sin, and Allah would have forgiven them. It's kind of like a game to Allah. It's like, if this creation didn't commit sins, then he would have just been like, well, let me redo that. Let me just create a new people, and they'll sin, and I'll forgive them. Strange. So it seems
still, this is not really.
Christian Prince doesn't
But
go
he
there.
is good, and God is good.
He doesn't
So,
go
my
there.
friend, I invite you to believe in the good God,
So
the
let me
pimp,
go into the
and
video.
he tempted you with sexual pleasure. In fact, this is one of the clear proof that Allah is the devil.
Oh wow, the call.
What kind of God? He says, if you believe in me, I will give you naked women.
That takes a lot of courage.
Unlimited number. The lowest number is 72 for the
That
lowest
takes
Muslim.
a lot of courage.
80,000.
My respect to all ex-Muslims. Yes. Yeah, not only do you have to be brave to stand against the evil, but you do have to go through that, like, that emotional turmoil of letting go. Because to a lot of Muslims, they hold it near and dear to their hearts, and it's hard. Yeah, because he just doesn't realize it, that not submitting to a man in Christianity who isn't even supposed to be just a man, but then submits to PDF file. We know what that's supposed to mean. Yeah. Okay, let's continue watching the video. Since Christian Prince, he stopped watching it because he got so caught up discussing with a Muslim. But it was really good because he actually got him to leave Islam and come to the truth.
And I think it's safe to say that Sneako isn't necessarily my biggest fan.
Yeah, bro, but look at the fucking snake you did. This is what I'm so.
Which is fine because I had that in mind when I addressed the point about worship. So I think that the same responses could be given in that as well. He should also reject Islam. But what's even more interesting is the reason that he gives for why he thinks that he should only worship Allah. He said that he only wants to worship Allah because Allah is God, Allah is the creator of the universe, and therefore we should love him. Man, I think both us Christians and Muslims would agree that you shouldn't pray to a mere man, but instead we're praying to God who put on human flesh. So there's a distinction there.
Everybody in the chat, yeah, bro, like, you don't pray to Muhammad. That's the whole point. That's the whole peace be upon him.
We went over that.
For a hypothetical to debunk a religion, it would have to be taken as literal. Explain the reason for the hypothetical here in a second. And in both Islam and Christianity, then who does Sneako think is the more rational person to submit to? On the one hand, we have Muhammad, who wasn't born of a virgin.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, as a human being, like the rest of us, do have sin.
Needed forgiveness for his sins.
The promise of God is that he does forgive sins, and his promise in the Quran is that he has forgiven the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for his sins, past and future.
And according to Sneako,
I understand what the hypotheticals, and I understand for example, but that's a stupid example to make because then that's not Christianity anymore.
So it seems like Sneako's chat gets it, but Sneako still thinks that it debunks Christianity in some way. But that's all right. Let's keep going. It wasn't perfect and did some questionable things.
Are you against grooming?
Yeah, it's gross.
How do you feel about like the fact that Muhammad like married a 9-year-old girl?
I don't know how true that is.
But I don't think any Muslims deny it.
If that's true, then he's not. Then nobody's perfect.
So if Sneako doesn't have a problem with submitting to a man like Muhammad, who even according to him wasn't morally perfect, then why would he have a?
That was before I reverted to Islam. She's asking me questions that I didn't know the answer to. I was saying that I was thinking about Islam. This is before, and I understand now that a lot of the time the parents have better decision-making abilities than the woman, and it was a different time. And Muhammad, peace be upon him, was definitely not a pedophile. He had many wives. A lot of them were older than him. I think his first wife was 50 when he was 25, and he was friends with Aisha, peace be upon her. He was friends with her parents. So I don't think that that's an example of pedophilia. No.
All right, now real quick, if you remember what my point was, my point was that Sneako said that.
Oh man, that's really problematic. Yeah, I know. This guy's beyond. Oh my gosh, he's beyond repair. So just because you happen to be attracted and married or whatever to women who are much older than you, but then you also have been married to, attracted to women or girls much, much, much younger than you, how does that negate the fact that you're attracted to minors? All it would mean is that your scope of attraction is very, very broad. I mean, just because, okay, so what if a person was bisexual, so they were attracted to males and females, and they also were attracted to minors? Would that negate either one? No, it would be both. Both would be true, that the person is bisexual and is attracted to minors.
Muhammad wasn't perfect. So this wasn't an attempt for me to argue against Islam here. I was only taking Sneako's reasons for why he embraced Islam and rejected Christianity, and I was engaging with those reasons. So this isn't me trying to argue against Islam here or to even say that it's bad. I'm just going off of Sneako's standards to show why it's a problem for him on his view. Now, of course, I see Sneako's explanations that he gave as problematic, but that's not even the point, because even if he were right, I don't think that Sneako would say that Muhammad was perfect, since Muslims don't even believe that. So again, I think that my point still remains. All right, let's keep going. Problem submitting to someone like Jesus, who, even according to Islam, was born of a virgin, performed miracles, and wasn't a sinner. If submitting to a man really is a problem for Sneako, then he should reject Islam, since it requires Muslims to submit to Muhammad. And if he decides to have a change of mind and conclude that he's actually okay with submitting to a man, then once we compare Jesus and Muhammad, even according to Sneako's own standards, then it makes a lot more sense for him to be a Christian and not a Muslim. Now, let's move over to another reason that Sneako gives for converting to Islam. So when it comes to this first point, I think that my point still remains. All right, let's go to the next one.
I like the fact that you pray 5 times a day, Islam. You're going to be more grounded. They take prayer more seriously than any other religion.
All right. Now, this is actually a really strange one, because not too long after he recorded this video, he asked for guidance in this area, and he said this.
I don't have the time to pray 5 times a day. Are you supposed to take all the steps fully? Are you supposed to fully dive into it, or can you, like, what's the next move?
So now, it's pretty strange that he cites praying 5 times a day as something that he likes about Islam, which is ironically the same thing that he thinks that he can't do. Now, I'm not sure if he realizes that these prayers aren't prayers that spontaneously come from the heart. Instead, these prayers are just memorized sayings in Arabic, which is, of course, a language that's...
Wait, so liking structure means that it doesn't come... What?
Sneako doesn't understand. But Sneako just likes a structure that comes with ritualized... All right. Now, you'll notice that this is a little bit of a theme here, because over and over, what you're going to see is it's almost like I'm having a conversation with Sneako in that video, because I'll say something, he'll start responding to it, and then I'll immediately, in like the next sentence or two,
It just sounds like the most ridiculous thing ever, like basing truth on what you like in a religion. Like, oh yeah, I like how their structure, I like how it's pray 5 times a day. It's like Build-A-Bear. It's Build-A-Bear religion edition.
Respond to what he was saying. This isn't his fault, by the way, because this is his first time he's watching it, but it was still kind of funny.
Liking structure means that it doesn't come... What?
Sneako doesn't understand. But if Sneako just likes a structure that comes with ritualized or memorized prayer, then he could have just stayed in his Catholic church, since they have recited...
Yeah, become a Buddhist monk. They have a lot of structure. Yeah, go join some kind of priest. I don't know.
Very Abba preach tactic, like when you get to selectively edit clips like that. And that doesn't mean that, because I'm still trying to find it. I don't even know how to pray correctly. Like, I'm still learning how to recite the words properly.
We'll actually come back to this point about the editing, because he brings it up a few times. I mean, unless he just likes the fact that they pray 5 times a day. Well, if that's the case, then there's no reason that he couldn't set a clock, get down on his knees, and pray 5 times a day as a Christian. So if this really was a reason for why he converted to Islam, then he shouldn't be a Muslim, since in Islam, he's obligated to pray 5 times a day. And he even said himself that he can't meet all his obligations since he doesn't have the time for it. So instead of embracing Islam, he really should just embrace Christianity. The next reason that Sneako consistently...
That was... Okay. But there's no... Is he making any arguments that are worthwhile? Like, should I keep watching or not?
Gives for why so that's all I said about that point. And again, as you'll notice, that was not an argument to say that Islam is wrong or there's something wrong about praying 5 times a day, because the Bible even tells us to pray without ceasing. What I was doing was going off of his standards for why he likes Islam. He doesn't argue that Islam is true because of his things. He argues that he likes Islam because of those things. And because of that, I found it strange that he would want to embrace Islam, since praying 5 times a day in Islam isn't a preference. It's not about liking doing it. It's an obligation. So I was using that not as an argument against Islam, but as an argument for the things that he likes seems to also go against Islam. In favor of Islam is his problem with hierarchies.
Like why I never felt like Christianity spoke to me. For example, like there's a hierarchy in Christianity. They have, well, in Catholicism, they have bishops, they have priests, they have the Pope. There's like a power structure, like politics in the religion, which makes no sense. Correct me if I'm wrong, but in Islam, there is none. It's just we're all equal. We're all God's children.
So here Sneako says that he has a problem with hierarchies in Catholicism and therefore converted to Islam, since there are no hierarchies in Islam and we're all children of God. All right, lots.
Oh, poor Sneako. He's so lost. Children of God. You left the religion where you can call your God Abba, where you can call him Father. No, you're a servant of Allah in Islam. You have to submit. Don't say children of God. Nope.
Lots of issues with this one. First off, to say that he likes the idea that we're all God's children in Islam rather than Christianity.
And what is he talking about? We're all equal, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's why a woman's testimony is considered half of a man's.
Is exactly backwards. The idea that God is our father and we're his children comes straight from Christianity. In fact, it's actually offensive to say such a thing.
Maybe not the word children, but the word creation.
All right, so he said maybe not the word children, but maybe the word creation. And of course, we're all God's children in Christianity as well. So if he wants to change the word to creation, that's fine, but it still doesn't refute the main point of what I was talking about, because of course, there's still hierarchies in God's creation according to Islam as well. The best relationship that we can have with Allah is a slave-master relationship. Secondly, when it comes to talking about hierarchies, it really depends on what he means when he says that. Now, I'm not a Catholic, so I won't speak to that, but the answer.
But there you go. You should speak to that, because there are direct hierarchies in Catholicism. The Pope is like the political leader of a religion.
I wasn't even planning on having Sneako add to the list of reasons for why he should reject Islam, but again, there it is. We're going off of the reasons that he gives, the reasons for why he says that he doesn't like Catholicism. Not only do they have hierarchies in Islam, which any Muslim would tell you, but also when he talks about the Pope being like a political leader, Sneako must not be aware of the Caliph, which is literally a political leader. So again, according to him and according to his standards, this is one of the reasons for why he rejects Christianity. So if he's consistent, this should also be a reason for why he should reject Islam.
What about the bishops? What about the priests? See, this is another problem with Christianity, is they can never decide what the is Christianity, who belongs and who doesn't. None of them even agree.
All right, now, once again, he's giving yet more reasons for why he should reject Islam the further that we go on. Now, I've heard him make this point in other videos, and Sneako seems to be under the impression that Muslims typically agree on who is a Muslim and who isn't. So when he talks about how it's a problem for Christianity,
nobody tells him these things, or like he doesn't research anything, or he's never heard of like that there's Shia and Sunni and much more. Oh my gosh.
Since they can't even agree on who belongs and who doesn't. If that's a problem for Christianity, then it's also a problem for him on Islam. One of the most obvious examples of this is that in predominantly Sunni areas, the dominant view is that Shias aren't real Muslims. Now, of course, you're going to find some Sunnis that say that, yes, they are true Muslims, and others that say they aren't. But that's the point. They all don't agree. And it's the same when it comes to Protestants and Catholics. So again, if not knowing who belongs is a problem for Christianity, then it's also a problem for Islam as well. What Muslim friends gave him in response is virtually identical to the Christian position.
Although there will be levels, like for example, the imam or the sheikh will have a certain level, not over people in sight of God, but we listen to them because they have knowledge. People like the leader of the Islamic community, we listen to them because they're the leader. They were kind of put in place by God to make sure the community is safe, and they have responsibility. Just like a husband has responsibility for his wife and kids, there's a level of authority there. But it's not that, oh, he's better than us or God loves him more. You can have like a poor person who worships God, who's very loved by God because of their, devotion.
Okay. Now, the only major difference here is that in Christianity, God loves you whether you're faithful to him or not, and if you're a believer or a non-believing sinner, which just isn't the case in Islam. So this means that if hierarchies are a problem for Sneako, then he should also reject Islam. And even more, since he likes the fact that we're all God's children, then he should not only reject Islam, but also embrace Christianity, since that's a Christian concept, not an Islamic one. But the next reason that he gives creates an even bigger problem for his conversion.
Yeah, I know. This took longer than I expected. So I think I'm just going to do a part 2 for this video. But yeah, like, he really thinks that everything's like smooth sailing in Islam. It's like everybody agrees. There's no different sects. And like, imagine, think about this. Like, Muslims have all these different sects, and they're always fighting each other. Many times they're bombing each other, suicide bombings of other mosques, like where for Shia and Sunni. And they do all this while they have a common enemy, the West. Imagine if, because when you have a common enemy, it usually unites you. It usually makes you kind of forget about your differences and makes you want to focus on your similarities, because it makes you think like, oh wait guys, like we have a bigger problem. We have this huge enemy, the West. So why don't we group together? Let's overlook our differences for now and unite. So imagine if they didn't have that common enemy, the West. And imagine how much more bickering there would be between all these Muslim sects then. Sneako, he doesn't think much. Let's read some comments because they're usually the funniest part. There's David, the psycho. Looks like Sneako is having a really bad weeko. Lamest dad joke. Sneako is a perfect example of believing that you are smarter than you actually are. He's not a pedo because he's friends with parents, yeah. Yep, anyway, I'll do a part 2 next time.